Now on CoastTV News.
The seeds of a new neighborhood, houses that will be built on this farmland.
Small businesses in Sussex County, how higher business fees could impact them.
Former FBI Director James Comey expected to turn himself in, threats made and statements from government leaders.
And we're tracking some scattered showers making its way through the Delaware Peninsula as we speak.
This is CoastTV News at 5.
From farmland to future homes. Good evening. I'm Madeline Overturf.
And I'm Charlie Sakaitis. We begin tonight with new information on just one of the new developments along Route 24 in the Angola area.
The development is called Inland Oaks. It would add 84 single-family homes on this land between Robinsonville Road and Route 24. Coast TV News reporter Emma Aiken live there in Lewes. Emma, after our meeting this morning, we have some new information about that future project.
Maddie, I'm on the 50 acres of land that would make up the Inland Oaks development, beginning the very early stages of the review process today. But according to documents, if this development were to go through, it would add about 815 cars on the road each day. Right now, it's farmland, but the plan is to build 84 single-family homes here between Robbinsville Road and Route 24 in Lewes. Eileen Heffernan thinks it's a great idea.
I think more and more people are coming down to Lewes, especially from areas of New York and New Jersey where the taxes are very, very high, and people that are in their retirement are on a fixed income. So they find this area more affordable for their income.
But others, like Susan Lyon-Fry, aren't so sure.
Not every development that is built brings much to the community. They tend to utilize the resources but not contribute to the resources. We have such a low tax structure. And if you look at the schools, they suffer because of that.
And here is some important information to know about this project. Unlike a lot of other developments, this land does not need a zone change. It's already zoned as agricultural, meaning single-family homes are allowed to be built. And the developer does want to keep almost 27 acres of the land as open space, including retained forest and wetlands. From open fields to front porches, the future of this land now rests in the hands of the state and the county. State agencies like DNREC and DelDOT will now write a response to the developer to ask some questions about the project, with those comments required by May 20th, meaning this would still be months away before going to the county for approvals. Reporting live here in Lewes tonight, Emma Aiken, Coast TV News.
And anybody who's been down Route 24 knows there's a lot of development happening there. We'll show you two recent developments, just two. There are others. Belmead Farms was approved the rezoning in December. It's 39 acres is going to be redeveloped into a mixed-use site with businesses and apartments. And down 24, the Walden community, a couple different parts of that community, is bringing hundreds of homes to the area, and it first began in 2018.
The cost of doing business, that might be going up here in Delaware. House Bill 400, it would increase annual business fees. Supporters say that the boost will help state revenue, but others worry it might put pressure on small businesses. Coast TV News reporter Nicole Richter is live in Millsboro. Nicole, small businesses in particular are worried about any extra cost coming their way right now.
Charlie, I'm here in downtown Millsboro. Behind me are some local businesses. Right down the road, we got Casey's Delights. We got Black Cat Antiques on this side. We even got the Mexican Mini Market on this side. We even got Rocky's Pizza right over there. I'm not sure if you can see it. But for owners here, they say that even the smallest fee increase could have a real impact. Supporters say that it would bring in more state revenue, but some owners say the timing is tough. One of the largest changes in the bill would increase the annual Delaware LLC tax from $300 to $400. Over at Nectar Cafe and Juice Bar in Millsboro, owner Lisa McDonald says every extra expense counts.
Everything adds up, right? The economy is tough. Things are more expensive coming through the back door. It's just one more fee on top of something else to raise our overall operating costs. I mean, I understand the states need to generate revenue, but I'd also like to see them spend money more wisely, maybe, before they put more on the backs of business people.
The bill is now expected to head to the Senate. In Millsboro, Nicole Richter, Coast TV News.
And this brings us right into our Coast TV poll. We want to know what matters most when supporting local businesses.
Let's take a look at the results so far. 54% say lower prices, 40% say community impact, 6% say convenience.
And if you want to go vote, real easy to do. You can go to coasttv.com or use the mobile app. We're taking a live look into Cambridge right now, some gray skies, as we check in with Chief Meteorologist Paul Williams.
Well, right now we're seeing it stay a little bit on the cloudy side, a bit drizzly in some places, and a lot of rain not quite reaching the ground, but some rain is indeed on the way. We're at 55 degrees in Rehoboth Beach. Winds are out of the southeast at about 12 miles per hour, and we expect for some light showers to possibly rear its head by 9 o'clock, up to 9 o'clock, with temperatures falling into the lower 50s. Now, as far as where we stand for today, we had a high of 68, 71 is the norm, so we were a tad warmer, even though we had a whole lot of cloud cover in place. We're at 55 right now in Indian River Inlet. We're at 62 in Georgetown, 61 right now in Delaware and Gumsboro. But here's a look at the rain right now. We can see it beginning to make its way throughout portions of Salisbury, just to the south and south of Seaford, as it's beginning to shift its way to the east-northeast, moving at about 15 to 20 miles per hour. There's actually a coastal flood advisory in effect for places like Salisbury, Westover, Frog Eye, and Nanticoke, as well as Deal Island, but not for Sussex County per se. Coming up, we'll take a look at more in the way of rain that I'm tracking for tonight, and another round possibly over the weekend.
Thank you, Paul. In Bethany Beach, the town's volunteer fire company took part in water training exercises. Pretty cool video here. Firefighters say the training focused on land-based rescue methods as well as boat and jet ski operations and victim removal scenarios. The goal is to practice clear communication and how to deploy the equipment there.
Some neat video there. Former Delaware Republican Party Chair Julianne Murray announces she will decline the party's nomination for Attorney General. Murray shared in a statement, quote, "I believe it is important to provide clarity as to what transpired. First of all, I was not at the convention and did not seek nomination. Second, at the time of the convention, the party did not have a declared candidate for Attorney General," unquote. In the statement, Murray says she's honored but believes people should be supporting a candidate who is better fit to serve. A former first responder in Somerset County has been convicted of sex crimes involving a child in Wicomico County. 51-year-old Oliver Kennedy was found guilty of 4 counts of sexual abuse of a minor and 1 count of assault. Prosecutors said the Pittsville man abused a child under the age of 12 in his household between 2018 and 2023. Kennedy was an EMT for the city of Crisfield. He remains in custody as he faces up to 35 years in jail.
Former FBI Director James Comey turned himself in today after being charged on 2 counts, including allegedly threatening President Trump's life.
NBC's Monica Alba has the latest, as Comey says he plans to fight the charges.
Former FBI Director James Comey before a federal judge today on charges he made a threat against President Trump's life. The threat, this Instagram post of seashells on a beach. The numbers 86 meaning to get rid of, and 47 representing Trump. Comey is adamant the post, which he later deleted, is not a crime.
I'm still innocent, I'm still not afraid, and I still believe in the independent federal judiciary, so let's go.
But Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche says the DOJ takes possible threats of political violence seriously.
So I think it's fair to say that threatening the life of anybody is dangerous and potentially a crime. Threatening the life of the President of the United States will never be tolerated by the Department of Justice.
Blanche, who was President Trump's personal attorney before his second term, is not the first prosecutor to push for Comey's indictment. President Trump fired former Attorney General Pam Bondi less than a month ago, reportedly amid frustrations she failed to successfully prosecute his perceived political enemies, including Comey, whom President Trump blames in part for the investigation into Russian interference in the 2016 election. President Trump today praising the indictment and lashing out at Comey.
People like Comey have created tremendous danger, I think, for politicians and others. Comey is a dirty cop.
But some of the president's Republican critics are skeptical of the government's case.
Hopefully there's more to it than just the picture in the sand. Otherwise, I just think it's another example of where we're going to regret this.
Comey did not enter a plea since he cannot be arraigned in Virginia where he appeared, but his attorney said he will file several motions in the Eastern District of North Carolina, including one on vindictive prosecution. In Washington, Monica Alba, NBC News.
An animal rescue mission by the Murr Institute, the animal they were called to, and its health status.
And right now we're tracking some scattered showers pushing across the southern portions of the Delmarva Peninsula, but more rain could be on the way for your weekend.
But first, from a life in bondage on Maryland's eastern shore to leading so many to freedom. Harriet Tubman's story, one of courage and determination. We share it with you up next.
This is Coast TV News at 5.
America 250 on Delmarva, brought to you by Pohanka Automotive.
One of history's most famous underground railroad conductors was born right here on the eastern shore and a native. This week, we're taking a look back at Harriet Tubman's legacy of how she worked to free enslaved people from the South. Harriet Tubman was born Araminta Ross at a plantation in Dorchester County in the early 1820s. In 1849, under the threat of being sold, she made a daring escape and changed her name to honor her mother. She traveled nearly 90 miles, guided only by the North Star, and finally found freedom in Pennsylvania. However, Harriet's mission was far from over. She would return to Dorchester County and other southern regions 19 times over the next decade and helped over 70 enslaved people escape through the Underground Railroad network. In 1857, Harriet led her parents out of Maryland and to New York, where they lived free for the rest of their lives. Today, visitors can explore the Harriet Tubman Museum and Educational Center in Cambridge to learn more about her incredible acts of bravery on the Eastern Shore and beyond.
You don't seriously believe those shady car dealer pricing tricks, do you? I mean, the prices are more controlled than my bedtime. You can see they're all the same online. So the real difference is how they treat you.
Pohanka has the largest brand selection in one place and people who pay it forward. Over $3 million supporting local causes. And for you, the Pohanka Promise. Up to 4 years free maintenance and more. Plus, Pohanka will beat any written offer or give you $250.
That's cash money.
I would call this some very wishy-washy rain, to be quite honest. I mean, it's falling, but it's not quite reaching the ground in all places. A little here, a little there, you know. Yeah, it's really kind of like that right about now. I'll show you what I'm talking about in a moment. In Lewes, we're holding at 57 degrees. The wind's gently moving at about 3 miles per hour in Lewes. Now, we are going to watch out for this wishy-washy rain I keep telling you about here, with temperatures falling into the lower 50s for the rest of the night. Now, here's a look at the radar right now. And this looks like a pretty sure bet that this is solid rain, right? But you see these little light greens and moderate greens? Those aren't even reaching the ground. Most of that is actually virga, which is when it rains aloft and doesn't reach the ground. But it's all of this as the system is shifting towards the east, and it's losing intensity as it pushes across, particularly as it crosses the Chesapeake Bay area. You see the darker greens on the other side? That's some good old-fashioned rain. Good old-fashioned American rain. You know, the kind of rain that's easy to follow on a radar. This other stuff, it's okay, that's what I call it. It's that kind of rain, all right? And that's what's pushing across for right now, so it's not all reaching the ground. So we have the real rain, okay? The bona fide American rain there. It's pushing along with the warm front. But the other one, you know, it's making up a sweet time and making up a sweet mind about what it wants to do. 63 in Redden, 62 right now in Georgetown. Now we'll drop down to 51 overnight, pretty close to where we have been. Now, our big deal has been we have been bone dry, and we're going to get another update on just how much we are within a drought situation updated tomorrow. But right now we're 1 3/4 shy for the month. And then we are nearing 2, we're beyond 2 1/4 for the entire year, shy of our normal rainfall total. And then we are expecting by 10 o'clock, our models indicating we could see some spot showers between Dover and Milton, and then possibly a stronger storm up towards Dover later on. But once again, a lot of this is losing its strength as it crosses the Chesapeake Bay area. And the amount of rain really hasn't had much of an impact. Instead of 3/4 of an inch, it's like a half an inch for most locations, with the one exception being Rehoboth, and that's inconsistent from my point of view. But for Thursday, we're looking for temperatures in the 60s, still below the 71, which is where we're supposed to be, but the winds are going to be howling at 16 to 25 miles per hour, so that 68 is going to feel like 58, best case scenario. 66 in Cambridge will feel like 56, hopefully, and then 68 for us actually in Berlin. So we see the late showers pushing through with that cell that's going to push through. Then we go into Thursday, we start off at 51, we end up in the upper 60s for Thursday. Friday, we start off at 41, and we end up into the mid to upper 60s later on. Now, as far as the next few days are concerned, we're watching out for that scattered showers on Saturday, And then we really stayed really bone dry from there. So here's our look at Saturday's rain. Even that's not looking like a sure thing. And we need that rain, remember? And it pushes through. And then the back side of this system looks like it's going to swing. I'm going to swing on the other side so you can see this. So that the focus of it's going to be on the other side. And we may even miss that totally. Here's a look at your extended forecast. Watching out for that chance of rain on Saturday. And Cinco de Mayo, well, that's one of the better days with a high of 74.
Thank you, Paul. Members of the local Haitian community went to Washington, D.C. today in support of the federal temporary protected status for Haiti. The status determines the country's citizens eligible to stay in this country and work if they cannot safely return to their own country for various dangerous conditions. The Trump administration asked for a pause in this status back in March. Today's case could impact more than 350,000 Haitians living in the U.S., including a sizable population here on the Eastern Shore.
It is very important for us as immigrants. We are really called here as home, and we build a family and a business, and we've been contributing and everything. And we have a lot of the Haitian TPS holder down here in Maryland. So we think it is very, very important for us to be present at this organization at this time.
A final decision on putting a pause on Haiti's temporary protected status, that's not expected until summer.
Coming up on the Delmarva Sports Network tonight, the final score at 10:30.
We salute Michael Gaylor, a proud Vietnam War veteran and a hero not only in service to his country, but to his family. His strength, sacrifice, and unwavering dedication as a provider and father have left a lasting impact. His legacy of love and service will always be honored.
Spicer Brothers and CoastTV are honoring military persons and first responders serving Delmarva. If you have a family member, friend, or community member that you would like to nominate for a CoastTV salute, go to coasttvsalutes.com.
A gray seal was rescued in Dover. You heard that right. The Mayor Institute says the seal was spotted by the St. Jones River. You might not know this, but seals actually will swim far inland to rivers to fish at times, including in Kent County. Mayor says they saved the seal when they saw it had labored breathing.
The Federal Reserve is holding interest rates steady. The benchmark rate will stay between 3.5 and 3.75%. Inflation is still above the Fed's 2% target, with higher oil costs and global tensions adding pressure. Hiring is slowed, but the unemployment rate, that remains strong.
U.S. gas prices jumped another 5 cents. They're now averaging $4.23 a gallon, according to AAA. That's the highest price in nearly 4 years. The increase means prices are up 21 cents in just the last week, the largest weekly gain for gas prices since March.
The son charged with killing Hollywood director Rob Reiner and his wife, Michelle, will be in court for a pretrial hearing Wednesday. Nick Reiner pled not guilty to murder charges in the case. Rob Reiner and his wife were stabbed to death in their home in December, the night before Nick and Rob allegedly got into an argument at a holiday party. Nick was arrested after the bodies were found, and he has been in custody since. He could face a life sentence without parole and may be eligible for the death penalty.
Here's a live look outside into Rehoboth Beach. One more check on the forecast after this. A gray seal was rescued in Dover. You heard that right. The Mayor Institute says the seal was spotted by the St. Jones River. You might not know this, but seals actually will swim far inland to rivers to fish at times, including in Kent County. Mayor says they saved the seal when they saw it had labored breathing.
The Federal Reserve is holding interest rates steady. The benchmark rate will stay between 3.5 and 3.75%. Inflation is still above the Fed's 2% target, with higher oil costs and global tensions adding pressure. Hiring is slowed, but the unemployment rate, that remains strong.
U.S. gas prices jumped another 5 cents. They're now averaging $4.23 a gallon, according to AAA. That's the highest price in nearly 4 years. The increase means prices are up 21 cents in just the last week, the largest weekly gain for gas prices since March.
The son charged with killing Hollywood director Rob Reiner and his wife, Michelle, will be in court for a pretrial hearing Wednesday. Nick Reiner pled not guilty to murder charges in the case. Rob Reiner and his wife were stabbed to death in their home in December, the night before Nick and Rob allegedly got into an argument at a holiday party. Nick was arrested after the bodies were found, and he has been in custody since. He could face a life sentence without parole and may be eligible for the death penalty.
Here's a live look outside into Rehoboth Beach. One more check on the forecast after this.
From empty nester to first home, Accessible Home Builders does it all.
It was great working with Scott at Accessible Builders. He called us every Monday and asked us to come over to the house at each step of the way during the construction of our home.
It was pretty unique working with Scott because not only is he the owner, but he was working in here hands-on with his employees and really just trying to make our vision come to life.
Design your dream home with Accessible Home Builders.
I need to clear the air about something that's been bothering me for most of my life.
I was a kid, Dad. It was your job to protect me from an adult that was taking advantage of me. You put me under review?
You break the rules, you pay the consequences.
They're gonna punish him for helping?
This is retaliation.
You have a concussion.
I don't remember.
You were investigating the murder. Do you remember anything?
Chicago Wednesday, new tonight on NBC and Peacock.
My name is Chase Brockstead, and I've been helping people fight against insurance companies for the last 25 years. Their playbook is simple: accept premiums and not pay out on claims. We have experience helping people get their medical bills paid, recover their lost wages, and compensate them for their pain, suffering, and inconvenience. Whether your case is big or small, we can help. Call us, we'll answer the phone, and check out our website to see some of our success stories. Brockstead Mandalis Federico, WriteLawyersRightNow.com.
Our reigning champion, Lynette Farmer, is back again.
My friends say I'm a human ChatGPT. They come to me for answers on lots of things.
Okay, best game show?
Wheel of Fortune!
Wednesday at 7 on CoastTV.
Next Jeopardy!
You once had a job that involved setting people on fire? Sounds like you're not a great firefighter.
Can the new champion keep the heat on, or will he be extinguished?
Amazing work.
Wednesday at 7:30 on CoastTV.
Coming up new on Coast TV News at 6, a Senate bill calling for an affordable housing overhaul in Delaware after the state is short 20,000 affordable housing units.
All right, in Dover right now we're at 57 degrees and we'll drop down to 52 with an expectation of the skittish showers that's trying to skip its way throughout the Delmarva Peninsula. We are picking up some more solid showers that's coming out of Mardella Springs, headed towards Seaford and Georgetown. Look for really a hard drizzle for the most part. Most of this is losing a lot of its oomph as it crosses the Chesapeake Bay area with the wind still staying active there. Our umbrella giveaway winner is Velvet Addison of Seaford. Congratulations, courtesy of Paul Davis, property restoration experts. Keep up with your forecast by calling our weather line. Sponsored by the law offices of Brockstead and Mandalis and Federico. The number to call is 443-880-9100. Finally, here's a look at your exclusive 10-day forecast. After tonight, we'll dry out for a couple of days and we'll get a really cool and a bit on the raw side for Saturday with another chance of some spotty showers. But then we'll start climbing back up the ladder towards normalcy into the 70s going into next week.
All right, thanks, Paul, and thanks for joining us here for Coast TV News at 5.
For more news, more local weather, download our Coast TV News app.
Inside Edition is up next.
And we'll see you later tonight for Coast TV News at 6. Have a great evening.